and visually inspecting the file.
Maybe on 72, second district.
By 43.
Good.
1019 for a walk in reference found cell phone.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on 44.
Four.
Today was a warning.
Four.
Thanks, 54. Do we know what her carrier is?
No, but I can find out real quick.
And same as previous,
I can do it. I thought maybe
the rest of the
maybe
chip
he knew or something.
is supposed to be unbroken and still.
Oh, no. You and the covering same man, Robert Bullock, you're good to go. Thank you very much.
Chip is empty. It has it's full of ones, not full of zeros.
Their status.
Think that's like that.
527.
Can you give me the number for walking?
Temper, it'll be 13198. 13198. 27, are you just going to handle it?
I don't care. You forced my hand. You can't stop me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days.
Okay, I'm fine for you. Or no need.
Temper, 43, you can disregard.
I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days.
That
I
paperwork
don't
is
care.
ready.
You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. Me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days. I don't care. You forced my hand. You gang stalked me. I won't eat. I won't drink. I'll be dead in 3 days.
Stanton County, I won't be transporting 1 to Riverside.
Riverside.
Our cars clear return in a moment.
Progress, thank you.
So, we
Yeah,
have
that's
the
everyone's
hash
regular.
value of the smaller chip in the top tier.
5 West Sterling Street. Swat Shadari Williams, 27-year-old female, checked on. She is advising the female took her 1-year-old and she is concerned. Shadari is the child's aunt and she's refusing to give her child back. The more we speak to her, the more we're thinking this is a custody issue. We're trying to think further at the time.
The larger chip for the first machine is identical with the chip from the second machine. Obviously, the moment of truth is all after these 4. If the all 4 matches, the moment of truth when we open the reference machine, which is the last thing we do. But the larger chip right now, between the first and the second, they match.
Come take 13 Pioneer Park. 13 Pioneer Park.
So, the hash 12 value for the smallest chip here on the top for 289, for the bottom of 363, they match. Here are all the values for
King Terminal 36 is off shift.
36, okay? Ambulance 60, check your status.
So the ROMs for first and second machine match, and the memory cards obviously should not match, and they do not match. So
Anytime anyone's more available. Check on 60 and route to Riverside.
Okay, 60, we have you going to Riverside. Okay.
And quarters.
Email 72 Tom Bryan and Porter.
Hey, County Hall, Susan, gonna be on Riverside.
Pepper, Peppers.
Okay, I'm making sure I go 71 back to quarters.
Okay, 71.
Fellas, welcome. You might remember a recent video where we got a wheel of two. Well, not the speed of sound, but give it a tiny bit. After this machine worked modified to get it to spin quicker, I think we should get up to 9,000 revolutions per minute. And 9,000 revolutions would equal, based on the calculations we did last time, if you recall, 900 revs was 100 Ks. As for 9,000 revs, that equals 1,000 kilometers an hour. Can't even imagine what sort of tire can live through that. We definitely need to give this a try. Why don't we mount a completely rooted tire onto this thing, spin it up, and hopefully it falls apart. After that, we'll modify the machine and get that wheel to spin as fast as possible. Let's do this. Without even the slightest rotation, you can tell that it is totally worked. It'll do. We're about to string.
But that is significant enough actually to all observations to be telling what I feel and what I don't feel. What? No, nothing to do with that. The reader, which is in this machine, is not reader for election machine at all. It has nothing to do with elections. The reader device comes from Lucid Technologies Incorporated. That is the whole unit, which is the optical mark recognition unit, which doesn't understand whether it's reading a kernel, paper, or election ballot. It has no idea what's reading. The physical version of that hardware in this device is different physical hardware version than in the previous device. Now, since this device is used for other purposes than election machines. This is nothing election specific. But what we now want to talk about problem, how it reads paper as such for polling, that same problem, it can be any paper, it can be same in different government. So at this point of time, this is an observation that these can be different hardware revision versions.
Fires the page to 181 Croswell for a 2-year-old that ran over his fingers with a scooter instantly.
Nothing to do with this is the scanner unit, which is in the, so let me point to the finger. Can I have a camera? I will show what I'm talking about.
X54.
Nice.
If I'm doing this correctly, it's showing us about 9,000, South 9,000.
What?
South 9,017 in a field area.
This is LA. So let me, I will show you the screen. So this table here,
They're saying it's a very high
which is
radius.
communicating between the main board computer, which is for elections, and the daughter computer here has nothing to do, doesn't know what's doing elections. Now, here you see the Lucid Technology, which is 140-06 revision A, so first revision.
46 year.
But the previous.
AM 46, we have you going 181 Croswell Avenue.
But the previous. Previous board was version 00.
Motherfuckers can't leave me alone, they're gonna have to take my life.
-8 revision B. So it's a different.
You hear that, motherfucker?
Same device is different version of hardware. Also, the previous device had a marking that the firmware of that was version 13.9. This one doesn't have a revision, a firmware marking. So I'm right now looking at that. As I said, that is a piece of equipment which is coming from a third-party company.
Phone number you provided. The phone hit about 5 minutes ago on the tower. It's 268 north 12,000.
Whether it's reading
West Road.
paper or a census paper or university.
It's Finefield. It's about 4.17 miles northeast of the tower.
It doesn't matter where the polling is. So that's why I'm just
We're talking about the address for him.
that that's a different version.
Did you deny it?
Whatever.
We found the Bonfield address for him. We'll probably check it out. Madeline?
The original manufacturers, they still exist for that component. And guys, what is the difference between those two?
This is okay.
No, those both are due tomorrow. So these are the two, these are the two options. This is the one which has slightly more
It's actually to extra patrol versus reckless drivers in the area. System machine also wants a phone call.
Three for my 43, she gave the child to be father's correct?
Correct, but and from the father's side.
possible. So that's why this is, that's why I'm concentrating my attention to this. No, no. See, as I say, this equipment there has no idea what it is looking at. It doesn't know whether it's a sampling paper, which is sensor paper, which is a university test or not, and it doesn't know how to add anything up because it doesn't know what it's looking at. The main board here, which is this part, this is where the logic and the electron live. This is just the eyes of the package, following those lines. But again, if this turns out to be a story about the of a paper and how that's interpreted, it can very well live there, which has nothing to do with it, doesn't know what it's looking from. So the previous one also didn't have the serial. Again, this is a third party from the Lucid solution. I have to check them out and find out because this might be a full order, it might be nothing. I'm just literally never communicated. What I'm looking at and why I'm all of a sudden excited or worried or paying a lot of attention to something.
514.
What?
Go ahead. It's a nice thing for a walk in. I have that feature.
It's the same serial as what is external. This is different kind of serial because this is a deep. Okay, now we go to this. This is in the era of this design. The serial, which is the external asynchronous serial 232 serial, slow. Too slow for this kind of data transmission speed, which they need to run through the valve speed. So this is a DMA, direct memory access driven serial. In order to have the preciseness of timing and the transmission speed, accuracy and transmission speed required for driving the scanner. So this is different kind of serial.
Suspicious activity, 919 South Elm Avenue. 1017 is advising their neighbors put cameras on their property and is pointed at 1017's door. He would like to meet for 43.
Do this way. Yeah, this seems to be very connected connector. Anyway. So this is flat cable, completely internal, not exposed to anything external.
I-57, 318 northbound, vehicle versus deer.
Engine 63 is en route.
Engine 63, we have you going I-57, 318 northbound.
I'm absolutely welcoming all help also. If somebody sees something which is interesting,
Engine 63, rather hard.
I have never seen the internal of this particular unit ever before, and I actually.
Go ahead, Engine 63.
No.
Engine 63. I do not have a unit that's going to be able to go up there with you guys.
Message received. Yeah, Tommy, can you page out a Bourbon ambulance, please?
And that was the first time.
Anytime 65 is already en route.
For
This afternoon, the whole electronics of that board and to the thinking guide, because from the perspective of hacking and security, that board has no whatsoever. That's not a threat, that's not part of that. They went through that out of the curiosity. So that's why That's the reason why at all this has been with you. So basically, from a security perspective, you really don't pay attention to that. But now this is a question of reliability also. So now we're talking different kind of terminology. So let me call Telegram.
King County to clarify that northbound lane, 318 northbound.
All advised.
Simple.
Big blue vehicle in the median. Stay clean was advised. Possibly a Chevy Equinox.
Simple.
Fine. The 911 unknown. 2226 Crescent Street. They just keep advising that they need Chicago police. They initially disconnected. Setting into domestic, if you could just check and make sure everything's okay there.
Hi. No, this is not. This is the 78363.
Well,
No, I left that one and the 81365 for tomorrow. Let me take a pen. Let me calculate. There might be a work order, which is older. So give me the just the unit number. That's easier. Yeah, with it. 78345.
Ambulance 46.
46 will be back in service. Do we need to respond to I-57 for that accident?
K-Com ambulance 65, city on scene. We got one vehicle, moderate damage, upright, still the vehicle. And ambulance 16, 5 left.
98.
Have a call 54 from listener Ray Parker at Armor and Arthur Birch. Armor and Arthur Birch sign.
Residence 2222 Crescent Street. He was put in contact with Chicago PD.
Well,
On
that's the
vehicle,
in the previous
moderate
one,
damage.
the different
Well,
and this is actually supposed to be the normal
The 63 Temple, we have you on scene command.
one.
Just advise you the Bradley ambulance need to disregard.
All right. Thank you.
Okay,
I'll let everybody know. Thank you. Bye.
We'll be passing command over to 163.
Okay.
You look 46. You need us to respond out there.
That's negative. We should be able to handle.
Message received. Can't come in. Will 46 standing down, standing forward.
In real
Okay.
time, watching what's going on here, and he has been going through the work orders, maintenance work orders, which have been received from LHS. It turns out that two devices have had a work which is related to what we are talking.
Do I look or sound like a
the
motherfucking
previous
idiot
device
there?
we opened,
No,
which
I'm
was
not.
a 78298, that device
Accountability
had
for
the
his fucking
clock
actions.
replaced on May 7th, 2020. So that explains why this one had a different clock than the previous one. There is another machine, which is the 78355, which has a reader, which we are now talking about replaced. So we haven't even opened that machine yet. So that doesn't explain why these two machines have a different readers. But we know now that we will have a different kind of reader in that machine once we tomorrow get to that. So anyway, Philip just wanted to chime in because he thought that maybe this would explain everything. Yeah, definitely we now know the clock chip is in a work order. We don't know why the scanner is different. So this unit is a set number 4969, and it is from 1998.
If you're gonna be in the public eye, don't be a public dick asshole.
The previous one,
Do I look like I'm you?
I
I'm
made
not you.
allowed and I have the picture.
Suck my
That was
fucking dick, motherfucker.
4777, so there are a few hundred units manufacturing different same year. So it seems to be logical that this would be manufactured different. So maybe somewhere in maintenance log we'll find. But anyway, I will spend a little bit more time learning about this, and I will go.
I made this account
I've
so we
reading
can have some
taking the high
accountability.
resolution pictures of these two circuit boards and try to trace what are the differences. That really gets your sleeping very quickly. Anyway, so this is something what right now I'm just trying to soak in to now when I know that I need to pay attention going forward, and hopefully I don't need to open that machine again. I can also tell that these units have a significantly newer driving engine. The previous driving engine had a oxidation and a clear wear and tear outside of the engine, and the conveyor belt in the previous machine was also showing more wear and tear. So there are visible differences between that scanner unit on these two machines. Again, interestingly enough, as mentioned before, the previous machine, the scanner unit inside was very clean, and this one was having so much paper fibers inside that when even outside of when I was going through the mouth, I actually got the mirror of my endoscope catching the paper dust and paper fiber. So there was a lot of stuff inside of this one. So, but anyway, I'm back to looking. Yeah. This one is older than the previous one. While the previous one, the circuit for this one is older than the previous one, while the physical components of this one here are newer and show less wear and tear. that there are further evidence that the previous one is neither model of the same physical component. Those are the spare parts to keep. And that's the same as we apply airplane. I mean, this is how airplane becomes works. It's the, I think the last statistics was that like Boeing planes delivered to the airline in the US. Average 8 days after the delivery when the first used parts to their spare parts. Observation is that which I mentioned. That the
911 missile at Boat Breeze, 275 South Indiana Avenue. Spoken to Gary Boat Breeze. He confirmed all information. There was no background. It was accidental.
Not worth for, but now when we know that you're saying. So, while you shouldn't trust that somebody's stickers, now when we know that the chips are the same by the content, they also have a sticker that is cryptographically invalid because it's only 4 characters. But it's matching, so the chips themselves try to with the sticker say they're the same.
Terry broker.
He's advised. I'll be sending.
Terry Terry Beaupre.
Could you say that again? I didn't quite hear.
Terry Beaupre.
This is from Facebook.
Plus it's his son.
Loitering at the City Hall, 304 South Indiana Avenue. There's a male, white, maroon shirt, dark hair. He's outside on the front steps at this time. That's what they thought.
Hey, how many on Colby Rogers, St. Mary?
Which one is it? 28187. 28187. $45. Chicago PD, they're gonna check out what they can. They advise it's an apartment building.
What? Chicago PD.
$43.
48.
Out of a Jesse Draper at 224 North Randolph, who wants to meet with you.
So what I'm doing right now is just because I'm putting the chip back in.
3 Marker South, South Santa Cruiser.
All it here says that the back stand when you don't have a spare part, and this is really not hard to get the stick in. So I'm just verifying I got everything aligned before I put it in because it takes more than the usual amount of force to get it back. So just making sure everything's aligned. Since we have a good audience, let me ask a question because somebody might know the answer to this. What is the nearest place I can buy a pressurized air bottle for clean air? Tables. Okay, good.
543, 540, I can grab that.
Wonderful, yeah. Because
Okay, I got it all up anyway.
Thank you.
You drive there.
And was, yeah, it's not seeing, I'm not seeing anybody outside.
10-4. We spoke to the mayor. He said he was requesting to speak with an officer now. He was wandering around City Hall. Respect. Jumper.
Next district, you look up.
Adam 16 come.
Good.
They were pending disorderly conduct at Evergreen and Merchant. There's a female trying to fight the 1017 son, and he's 14-year-old male. Female is older. We're still taking further at this time.
Don't worry. That's coming around, clear from, I already feel something. People go back and service, yeah.
Jumper, they spoke.
What is 39? SSR, Motorsport.
Thanks.
K11, just for 43. She's going to be in a blue Chevy.
I'm gonna be out at 1502 north, 8000 west.
In regards to Evergreen and Merchant,
Yeah, for I'm out with, the suspect from City Hall.
Jumper.
Yeah, so the reason I was asking, not only I need to clean my own
Over that head for the teeth.
mirror, but the other thing, just gave an idea that if we don't take apart any of these, because it's clearly dust, so we can at least clean one of the machines and run the test bed through it tomorrow, one of the machines, just to double check. Oh, let me do it now.
Oh, go ahead. Go that way. That's what's it.
At least then we can clean,
Need to
one
get
of
an
the
armored
machines,
block.
which we
We
find
made a
very
traffic
useful
complaint.
with the
A
result.
newer model black on the
And,
Civic license,
used again,
G60,
the first machine was very clean.
get off the
It
highway,
was
cross over silver lanes
there
of traffic.
was a very, very little
Causing an accident.
white dust. In this
Floyd
one,
doesn't
there
have any
was
complaints.
not only dust, but also a longer paper fabrics, which were loose there. So something which a even modest flow of air can move around. So that the whole, yeah, so right now they are sealing it again and putting new seals in and documenting that. This is not chain of custody. This is chain of custody is on Thursday. So right now we are documenting just the resealing of the machine. What? Well, those documents, after they are done, we can check that the seals are, because they are outside visible and they're signed. Everything is good, is outside the paper they can match. What do you mean? Those sealed documents?
Andrew, who was F-Frank.
I don't.
So,
I don't care. It's a question of do we upload those? Okay. Anna is not in here. Yeah, we can upload those. Okay. So, Joe Kelly, Level 5 Media. Do you think Jovan Pulitzer would be able to
clear valid out of
false are the issue? I don't know what he's doing. I mean, it's what he's saying. For bamboo fibers, what I cannot know. Who configured the ballots, whether or not other precincts counties have ballot configured in a similar manner? So, what I'm not certain what means configured ballots, but if you mean where the programming comes to the memory card, I believe that's done by LHS. If you talk about who is configuring the ballot as in printing, the physical printing, as the Evans printing was saying, they are doing the precise alignment in printing and all of that to, as you said, about thousands of an inch, because paper has a really bad thing to wiggle. It's something else, I don't know what else would be the configuration. Who print the ballots and do they, one thing is also when the physical alignment is done, there are a lot of rules about the physical alignment and the ballot rotation. I don't know who is defining the ballot rotation. Secretary of State Office Secretary of State Office is defining that, and as you can see, the ballot rotation was in the ballots there. And one more, if who is defining which one is up and down, I don't know that when you are not aligning the ballots. Who printed the ballots and do they print ballots to other precincts, counties, states? So as you saw yesterday, the big sheets from Evans Print contained all the townships and the neighboring townships are there. So I don't know if they print all, but at least they print many. Harris claimed the DMV used folding machine which didn't adhere to the score line. Is this true? So did the DMV told all of the ballots statewide or just with this machine? It was unclear at the time when we started. We knew that it has been used to fold the DMV documents. Later we have been finding out that the machine has been rented by the town of Windham, and the primary use or use has been DMV, but it's not DMV. So this is a machine which is by the Windham, and there's at the moment no evidence or information that anyone else in New Hampshire would be using that same machine. So this is something what the town of Windham had done themselves, and I say that machine for the primary use. This is just, to me, based on all the conversation, people just didn't, there was no knowledge to know that you have to be careful about this until now. So everybody is learning the difference between upfolding and downfolding at the same time. Do you have other tabulated tapes from other precincts showing machine 2 like Conscience elsewhere? I was just given an envelope of some other places. I haven't even opened the envelope. I believe they are true, but they didn't come from Secretary of State or from the Attorney General's office. However, what has been said is that when you look at data, the data doesn't show that. I have had anecdotal stories from places that they think they have had some kind of anomaly, but nothing serious. And when I asked the question, can we have the poll tapes from other places, it turned out that it's a common practice in New Hampshire that the poll tapes get sealed with the ballots into the boxes, which then means that in order to reopen those boxes, you have to either have a judge's order or the legislative action. So right now, there's no easy way to access the poll tapes because of the practice of sealing those into the boxes with the ballots.
That's not in progress. Occurred at 1995 South Schuyler Avenue, Lot D, David 20. Lisa Norton, 1019, regarding her son's meds missing.
What? Yeah, that was. No, I never said that is the reason. I'm always very clear that it seems to be one of the contributing factor, but it is not the only reason. There is more than one. We are right now thinking there's at least 3 different reasons which are contributing to this outcome. And right now it seems that the folded line is the largest single contributor. We still don't know if it is amplified by something else or not. And that's why we are right now looking into the voting machines, because we know that one of the machines was twice as sensitive to its folding lines than the other machine. So there's something there which we don't know yet. We don't know what is the baseline. So, but I never have said that even before we knew about folding lines, I said that I don't believe there's a single reason for any of this. That these kind of things never end up to be a single reason, and we already know that there's not a single reason. Only thing we can say is at this point of time, the folding line seems to be a strong contributor, if not the main contributor, we don't know. But it is one of, not the only one.
Jason, go ahead.
This person that paid it off now, actually.
So first of all, the number 85 is not accurate. The 85% of ballots, not as you said jurisdictions, are counted by accurate. There are 309 jurisdictions in New Hampshire, and based on the information given to me, 112 of those are hand counted. They don't use accurate. So 112 out of 309 are
The number is 13205, 13205.
The decision and in the SB 43, this was Windham and Windham only. If the state legislators have a larger scope, happy to do that. But at this point of time,
Welfare check earlier, 495 West Sterling Street. Can you give the 1017 a call? She's requiring a follow-up.
And that's it. This is a Windham and Windham only. one thing which we have learned is that if the candidates are on the same vertical line, we didn't see that.
Okay, you want to tell us?
We saw best to have impact when the candidates are not on the same vertical line. The same thing at the same time yesterday when we looked at the pictures on the microscope, and is that the folding bump is only strong in the center of the page. It is not strong on the left or right hand side. It's weakest on the left hand side of the ballot. So it takes a lot of things to happen in order to have, this kind of impact based on everything we have as an evidence. We might find new evidence later. We still have 2 days to go, and we have to analyze it. But right now, it takes a very special circumstances for this to happen with this folding machine. Because this folding machine is making the strongest only in the center of the page. And again, if you look the other way, when you look at the superimposed image, what you learn from that is that in the top of the ballot, there is no concentration of the foldings. It is all over the place. When you look at bottom, it is not concentrated on the both sides of the ballot. If you look at the flip side where there's no vote, there's no concentration. This is telling us that the concentration is directly
Police code 1042.
using the folding machine, which best of our understanding is not used anywhere else in New Hampshire.
Police code 1042.
According to less than be greater than police codes, less than be greater than. Police code 10 to 42 means end duty.
Well, we are right. So first of all, the first claim was to say maybe this is given by state. That is not true. We have found out that this is a town's decision. Maybe there's a random town somewhere who has made the same decision. We don't know. Ours, well, we know now that that's an individual decision. However, when we have all of those ballots, you can go and look where are the other possible ballots. If everything else would have been same, what are the places where this could have happened with this folding machine? Again, if there would be a problem with the folding on the top, we would have seen something by now. We haven't seen an effect there. We will be looking more statistically there to see if there's a. Right now, there is. We would have been jumping up and down if we would have seen that there is any kind of evidence that this is having an effect on top of the ballot, or if there's something which is outside of these extraordinary circumstances. So right now, everything we know at this point of time is pointing that this is extremely limited. It requires so many things to happen to have this effect. But obviously we keep on looking and try to look if there's something else and if there's wider effect. Everybody wants to know if there's wider effect. That right now it doesn't seem to be the case. It seems to be that it's really isolated. But of course we have still 2 days to take a look at this. And again, the folding mark, the interesting about this folding mark is that when you look at the superimposed image, that really tells you the story, where this could happen if there's a concentration. And that image doesn't show any other concentration than what is in the center of the ballot. On the front side of the ballot, down. That's the only concentration point. And again, you'll see also there where the score mark is. Everybody else who is falling in hand falling, or calibrating their machines to the score mark, there's no problem. This is really an extraordinary anomaly. And from that folding machine is again that folding machine. There were a lot of things in that. It didn't fold straight line. It was diagonally, etc., etc. Yeah, so we were thinking about a lot of other things, what could be. The moment when I say to myself, this is probably was the moment I saw my superimposed image. That was the moment when, from all the ideas and possibilities, this one jumped to the top position. That was the second when I saw that. Before that, we had an idea that this could be important. But when we saw the that was the time when the decision was made when we talk about this, that we need to do the test because we need to try if this is, if we don't do the test, if we don't try this for real, this would be a theory, but if we do the test, then we can prove this one way or another. And we didn't know until we saw the first print tape that this is it. So it was as exciting as to everybody else when the first tape came out, and as I have said multiple times, when we did our calculation and analysis, we were expecting about 16-17% to be the maximum impact of this falling light, not what we saw. So when we saw the first fall tape, that was a dramatic because the impact was way larger than any of us thought it could be.
As well as having the nerve to stand up to the demons, resist their temptations, and ultimately defeat them. He describes himself as being at peace, something you might say he had little of, given that every 5 minutes a demon seemed to present itself before him. He tells us that all men honor him, and that he achieves his
We have been already having this conversation. So, as I said, there were a number of different things which we were considering. As I said, 10 years ago, I was working in Florida with a folding, and at that time, what it turned out that our major problem was ink transmission. Thinking about folding is nothing new, and as I said, the moment I knew this is out of the, not one of the many possible explanations, the one is when I saw the image. Before that, that was one of the many. Yeah,
2750 East Bay Highway 17, Northwest America. It occurred on Fleur Road.
We didn't know
There's one vehicle in the ditch. Does not appear injured.
Folding itself, yes. The moment we saw the image, that was the
that he's quite taken back. That's
you, and we had the folding machine. That's everything twisted together. That's when you have, instead of having a theory, one of the many theories, and by the way, we have been playing all along that we had a preconceived idea of what it is. We didn't have a preconceived idea. We followed the evidence, and we followed a number of different possibilities. And I say, the moment when that image came out, that was the time when we knew that we have to reorganize the working hypothesis we have. And that's the moment. Well, we have. Well, there are a lot of things which can happen. It might be right now snowing somewhere in New Hampshire. I don't know. What I'm saying is that we have to look what we have. We have the score marks which are absolutely the right place in every town. So there's no system in failure. And then we have this folding machine, which we have no knowledge of anyone else. I've been asking from them. Most of them say we're hand folding. So that's another part of that. So is there someone in somewhere in New Hampshire using the folding machine? I don't know. But when I have a conversation here and asking, are you using a folding machine? The answer is no, we are hand folding. Yeah, well, it's the whole thing is that's why we are gathering data. We are still gathering data. This is not over. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, come ambulance, 71 is on scene, 10-4 Bishop.
Ambulance 71 10. Advising they were on Square at 17.
And one of the things I also should do, and I think is relevant, is the flaws in the ballots correlate to the data as it relates to blanks and overvotes. So in particular, in Rainham, we had machine 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I showed you by way of example, the presidential race garnered approximately 57% of the vote on machine 1, 3, and 4. Over only 42% of the vote on machine 2. And that anomaly also had another.
They were southbound, and there was one vehicle blocking a lane of traffic.
On machine 1.
Should be a four-door Chevy Malibu.
Comparatively, we had 292 on machine number 2. And I believe it was 64 to 87 off the top of my head, so only the last two numbers. The point is that we had an inordinate amount of overvotes on one particular machine. That was the telltale sign, because when we broke it out by race, you can clearly see total amount of land.
Yeah, I know what you guys can do with your stimulus money. Hire lawyers for voter fraud and replace the machines.
Well, in the second audit, it was just one deal last week. Those results, that data, stared at me. Around the bucket with the other kinematic artifact lies, which is on the voting territory.
I would use your stimulus money to pay for new voting machines.
72 on 1040 Beach Nut.
One, all the other races that do not have a full, there's even a discrepancy.
And hire lawyers.
Where you have Captain Stacy's race for probate. When I take that data and I compare that across 131 other towns and cities, that's 85% of the ballots.
Stupid fuck.
I respectfully disagree with the assessment that we haven't looked at that. I have looked at that. I'll take Merrimack by way of example. When you look at Merrimack, you'll see there's one machine that has the same anomalies. I believe it's 396 votes. So when you're looking at the statistics match up to what victim is presented. So when you respectfully push back and ask you if you look at Bedford, Amherst, Merrimack, Londonderry, by way of example. And the reason why I say that, because you're going to find that the map is very consistent with the map that Whitman presents. And I'm not necessarily sold on the fact that this has to do with a DMV voting machine. I think it has to do with a poll, however, not necessarily a specific poll. It's how that poll was placed. I concur with the assessment on that. But until you actually do a controlled study of those towns, you're not going to be able to say
dumb fuck. When you had me human traffic, you had me deemed mentally retarded, and now I don't have to work. Thank you.
When you're talking to the audience, you have the ability under the current law that was passed to go ahead and request from the Secretary of State the ballots and the tapes.
Your taxes pay my check.
You have that ability to reach out through the Attorney General's office and or the Secretary of State's office and do a quick run. You still have time left for this audit. And if you're going to satisfy the whole intent of this whole proceeding was to instill voter confidence. But I gotta tell you,
That's not progress. Just me goes 533 Service Street. There's a theft of a generator. Heard about an hour ago.
All due respect.
Well, first of all, today, tomorrow, Thursday, and just as a practical matter, in order to test anything you say,
Damn, still in fucking your generator while you're fucking sitting at home chilling.
at the same time,
Fucking using it.
legislators or somebody else or takes no rights and ask for extension and somebody's willing to pay, more than happy to do so. But right now, the tasks we are given is in 43.
Have you asked for that?
I have asked for the page.
Have you asked for an extension of time?
I have no plans for extension.
You have that ability to do so, sir.
Okay. I will have a conversation about it.
Thank you, sir.
Dude, stop fucking asking the questions and let them work.
All right, the messages are sealed. And I I think we are ready to wrap up for today. And then continue tomorrow at 9 in the morning. Look, oh, count the boxes. Oh, we do that. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. None of them touch the empty boxes. Empty boxes and one step. Anything else I can do for you? What? Yeah. Okay.
Can't go 147. We'll be on shift.
Understood.
I need to put okay, and I need to first take myself pictures of these, and then after that, I'm going to take a table.
I'm out of Dos Amigos. Is caller the business or is it someone here in the area?
Probably that same dude with AIDS took it.
Oh,
I did my work. I apprehended the perpetrator. Your work is the prosecutor.
people. In court, e-voice translate 1979456. 1979456. Chevy Silverado, one time.
They're making up for it today. I knew it was going to be a hot day. Oh, die, you fucking gnat. Dude, gnats are the worst thing ever. It's like a bad dream. Trucking with light. I use a fucking spray bottle to kill flies. Doesn't matter what's in it. You can use water, fucking soap, alcohol. I like to hit them with alcohol. Get the motherfucker drunk before he dies. Don't look at me like I'm sick.
Let me give this.
Very calm.
Bring the tools on the table. I mean, everything is all again. I think that's it. That's it. Thank you.
That's my fantastic.
What the fuck does the journal do? Fucking the media. The fucking social media harass people. What do you think the media does? They're even worse. They stake you out at your fucking homes. What if I fucking went to your fucking home with my phone?
Somebody was checking your status.
Income email 71 and email 72 at 10-4. 71 is going to be transported shortly.
Heckler. I have you both Heckler.
How would you like if I come to your home and interviewed you?
This is such a good know I was saying that would be.
Very tightly into this. So one thing we didn't have a conversation is what is laser printed ballot. So we created one ballot with that laser printer in black and white, deliberately on yellow, so that the yellow dots which are there wouldn't be bothering. But there's another feature of a laser printer which is tries to save you toner. So when you have laser printed, I'm just turning it whichever way I. Do you want to turn this way down? This is probably the best way. So when you have a laser printed or ink printed, not only you have these telltale dots on the side of everything you have printed, and this also is laser printing. So if you use a quick print shop and any of that technology, you have the exact same when you're not using ink. So you see the dots which are on the side, outside of the black area. And then you have the white dots which is there to save the toner or ink or whatever you're using. So this is the telltale for anything which is reproduced and not printed. You can go anywhere on the black area. You see always the same. The same in for example, when you Georgia ballot, you have a real ballot which is printed, and you have real ballot which is coming from the Secretary of State Opera and Dallin and Jaman. You have the same, exact same pattern, because this is not related to any voting system, it's not related to any model of printer, they all do the same. So there is no way of confusing a real printed paper and laser printed quick printed paper. When if you are doing is the difference between real printed a quick printed or laser printed or using
Heckler 34.
Thank you. I was actually trying to explain the speckles.
Good job, and officer.
Saying how the speckles are on the side and there's
Broadway.
outside
in regards to that dog fight that happened earlier, the owner is not being cooperative.
I realized I never showed what it looks like, and that's what it looks like. It's again, speckles outside of the line, white speckles inside of the black area. Thank you.
1423. Cover.
Dude, they look like bombs about ready to go off.
545, your status. Okay, come. 1965 East Pine Street. Also having a loud background right now. Cover.
King County, if you ambulance 72 is in service returning, ambulance 71 will be transporting shortly.
Video. Temporary, I did returning. So, everybody good.
Like 1600 East Eagle Street. There's two dirt bikes at the dead end. Both are black males. They've been driving around at a high rate of speed.
We'll check it once again. Yeah.
Temper.
Cover.
Let's actually do a follow-up reference to a theft and purchase mini storage. Once we get further 1043.
Alcohol and fresh narcotics.
Restaurant 95, go ahead.
Did you advise it's a mile south of the called in address?
Approximately, yes.
10-4. That may be time for
Does your house
school
well?
out there checking out.
Temper.
Temper.
Your son's a skinny punk.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Heading 1090, 1954 East Meadowview Avenue. So, Smith residence, burglary alarm.
No, go ahead. Please. Okay, so potential.
Temper, he said.
6-1.
He told. Temper, he said.
KCAM 11 will be in service in ROF. Will be interrupted alarm.
Temper 11. Either team, go ahead.
Your have been removed the roadway, taxes 1965. East Pine.
Temper 1965 East Pine.
Okay, okay, so that's service.
Temper 12.
KCAM 1 201.
3001, go ahead. 3001, 10-4. Just for information, I have moments units en route too.
Okay, 10-4, because I think it's right on the border of Moment, myself, and Sandy, that's on that section.
Very specific on a location, so.
All right, 10-4, great.
Do I need to page out to Ann as well?
Did they say it was a large tire?
Smoke and flames, and it didn't look like it was being attended to.
All right, 10-4. Well, we'll hold off once Moment gets their hands on it. If they don't pay, they can't be up there.
Okay, thank you.
Tommy on 72 and quarters.
10-4, 72, 80 and quarters. Okay. 545 is Jenna.
Yeah, got 131. Has any of Moment's units left yet to go to the call?
Yeah, I had Fresh 95 and 194 en route.
Okay, 10-4. Moment's push 95 for 1301.
Go ahead, 1301.
I just made the station on wing up the manpower. When you guys get there, could you advise if it's when you guys side, if you guys can handle it or not?
10-4, we're pulling up on a small header now. Let you know.
All right, thank you.
Public contact, Keno Court.
because I was just taking, I didn't have a good enough picture for the report, so I just decided to do it more than I remember to take it.
Can't talk wrong with Trust 95.
Attending with the supplemental.
One 3001, you about that traffic?
No, then that's why I have something with me. I'll just bring it back over here.
In 3001, Forest Truck 95 advises there's a stump on fire. It is unattended. They're going to go ahead and just put it out.
Okay, 642, they can handle it. We're on stand now. To just advise what they do on their side or if it's on our side.
A stump on fire. Jesus Christ, they're out in the fucking country.
For male blacks, they've been riding up and down with high rates of speed. Hands down, Thunder 94 is on scene.
Thunder 94 temporary on the scene.
You guys want to take the road? Hard right now. I advise them to keep them off the street or they get citations. Right.
So far.
Thank you for not taking the
Hey,
dude
Tom,
shit.
Highway 34 is clear. I'll let you know this on the door. Ambulance line 1481 West Gray Street for a 67-year-old male throwing up. Ambulance line 1481 West Gray Street for a 67-year-old male that's throwing up. Tyler Page, 1651, respond on safe fire. 4340 or 6. Hang on, I have you now. Go ahead.
Service 12,343.
refill on it. Besides, they were burning tires. They were really foam on it.
10, clear.
752.
740 North 10th Avenue. We spoke to a lead dealer, advised the child had the phone. There's no history on TX. It was accidental. They confirmed no information.
That's what. 12 if you're available to me. Over.
The Cape Auto Body, 1410 North Hobby Avenue. Bird Interior Zone 005. 101410.
Driver 6 will be out.
Right, 610.
Did you take care of that welfare check on the firm?
Right there, 43.
I hear you knocking, but you can't
94,
come in.
95. 95.
That's a good song.
10-4.
I hear you knocking, but you can't come in.
94 to 95. Go to Hop Street. Go 94.
Sounds like that fucking little Damien dude. The fucking demon.
Are you there, Lucas? Go 94.
Yeah, Lucas, this is St. Anne's district, you know that, right?
Oh. Chris is not him.
What did he want?
Why the fuck?
On call.
Why the fuck? Can't come.
And returning.
Town Park.
Please tell me what's going on.
Yeah, Commerce Driver 60 on King.
610. Transportation.
K13.
K13, go ahead.
Get past me, get round that up.
Key holder will be about 5 minutes in a black Tahoe.
10 foot. After my call.
That's fine.
I'll check Wildwood.
Key, go ahead.
Go ahead, 95.
Fire extinguisher will be on the return.
Brush truck 95, come fry and have you return.
One thirty zero one. But
Was that you guys say?
fire is also 3,000. It's yours, I believe.
Okay. It's probably out of that.
10-4-6.
People.
10-4.
Yeah, it was 71. Is that what we say?
19 right now, 71 till 38 on Thursday.
Correct.
You contact DPW, probably need a barricade or maybe you can block the entire alley.
Fine.
Okay, come control.
But
Yeah, it's 7.2. Those are from those, no problem, 7.2.
10-4.
Okay. They'll provide video. Oh, okay.
Good.
I saw contact the editor. Here, you can get to this. Okay, I'm done with it.
10-4.
I just spoke with DPW. They'll be en route shortly.
Simple. I'll stand by here. Not going to be passed for. I think it's the next car later. We'll go down with it.
That's fine.
And down number 6 around Riverside.
Alright, 6 10 Brian is going to Riverside. But checking your status.
10-4 only.
10-4.
94 is back in.
10-94, 10-4. So yours ready at Ross? Engine 5, assist ambulance 29245 South Tyler, lot E, boy 1 for a subject that fell, is injured. Engine 5, assist ambulance 29245 South Tyler Avenue, lot E, boy 1 for a subject that fell, is injured. Time of case 1709, respond on 3
10-4
for paper. 5, Plum Creek Drive, apartment 2-1. Private alone. Alone, action 45, outside.
Can't come first, like 95 seconds, of course.
Of course. Seven.
Tony.
And there's something.
Love it in the first again.
10 for 11, 11 in Hershey.
Yeah, county should probably on state.
Yeah, 5 months.
Maybe on street something.
That's it. K21 came from. Traffic complaint, Curtis and Grace. Curtis and Grace, there's a dirt bike zipping around the area east side of Curtis. They're advising it's up by the soccer field now. There's a traffic complaint at Wallen Court. There was a dirt bike chasing a vehicle, tore up the church grass that they drove through, possibly went towards station. They had a white helmet on.
Yeah, 5:45. Today's pretty good.
Summer. 14 South Locust.
Thanks for support there. People. I think I might have that dirt bike.
Pepper.
No one gave us one.
Uh, 43. Suspicious activity, the dead end of South Euclid. Authorities forced the caller. They tried to get through the alley. Black pickup.
What do you want to want to throw the grass over here? Go on. You can figure out my helmet. Let's assist only, events not needed, all units to be available, consider the call.
Timer.
54. When available, I have a desk report for the expense vehicle versus here. Curtis River North and Northeast South East.
Down, 57.
Jason, go ahead.
Stop all. B-Boy truck plate 1609833. 1609833. B-Boy truck plate on a black Ram. Looks like one time.
Separate.
Okay, river, not one.
Ground floor.
Okay, from control, we got one by file.
So go ahead.
Charles 63651797371.
Kenneth S. Carruthers, returns clear valid.
See a license? That's treason. The terrorists were asking for a license. And that's the God's honest truth.
Right, everybody.
Quick check of the dog. Perry Farm. Caller advised the dog's been in a whitehead SUV for 45 minutes.
That way a second.
Whatever.
Third for the warrant. People.
So go ahead.
Folks are sacred to the fact that over the benefit.
Upward.
At 60.
Tower, they're advising that the gate near the end of the dead end may be broken. For actually the second day in a row, this subject has done it. Older white male driver. We clearing the Curtis and Grace along with that one you just cleared.
Talking no contact.
Kane County, Tower 79, head up on the page.
Tower 79, or
Can't come at 55 paper. .241 South Curtis, Pink Key. Air off the border.
But
2832CL. 21's in the area.
10-4-21. Return valid. Thomas and Catherine Kelly, 613 Evergreen Lane, Bradley, Black, 2005, Nissan.
Still fucking around.
Gene Thompson Tower 79.
Right.
We just heard Peatone advise that they're going to keep it to a single ended response. You can show us the quarters.
Sounds far out. Step quarters.
Can't come out of 6.
And 6, go ahead.
Okay, so that's UW, so fair, you know. Can't come at 55.
So we just got finished making my beef carpaccio, and I don't want to leave this hanging around. So we're going to use Dawn Power Wash, spray, and white, and rinse.
Kelly, first name is Thomas, and married for a middle. 12/27/65. 12/27/65.
Negative. Tesla.
An earthquake that appeared, disappeared, appeared, disappeared. Still here now. Looking at pretty sizable 4.5 earthquake. Let's go. Shut up.
This is Kelly Jr. Dialing clear 51 St. Petersburg.
Zooming in here, USGS satellite imagery. We're zooming right down into the creek or the river. This is where
We're all being kind of carry that.
Tesla 42.
So no major fracking operation in the area. So it's not fracking. This is something else. This is the big push from Madrid, I do believe. Look at the earthquakes here. Last 7 days in the region. As you can see, there's that small swarm just south of the lake here.
Let's show when that was issued.
Spreading widespread westward, northwest. Quick look here at U.S. fault zones. 5 is just outside of that major fault zone through Oklahoma. It seems we're seeing a lot of activity in the grid westward recently. A lot of pressure being released on the west coast through geysers and springs, lakes, and quakes in quakes. Last week. Across the region here, notable earthquakes here in the San Francisco area that have been increasing over the last 7 days, as well as small geysers.
Accident on 5th and Court. 5th and Court. There's a rear end, no injuries. They're getting out of traffic. Turning in by U-Haul now.
Largest really is only a 5.0 here.
5th and Kennedy. 5th and Kennedy. Turning in by the U-Haul.
There's 54.
Yeah, May 20th.
So we still are expecting larger shower. These 4s and 5s that happen. But these 4s and 5s that happen usually increase in South America as well across the community. 5 here, north Atlantic Ocean.
Robert 6, I'm going to return to Hersher.
I'm Brian, you returning.
Here. They will open North American crates. Earthquakes are continuing to Africa. Near Gongo. So much love, everybody. Please share this quick update.
Yeah, count 504,000.
Sure.
Altogether, worldwide, we are looking at 285 earthquakes. Stay weather prepared. Thank you for watching. Prayers for you. Bye.
Page 12 is 23.
742.
Can't come in, Tino ambulance 72 being around change quarters, see it, no?
I wish there was an app where I could compare rental cars. Like
I
Kayak.
need to test where I have you en route.
Talking about Kayak. Yeah, like Kayak. Yeah.
The address will be 7550 Juliet Road.
You should know me well. You're fucking right for it.
Can't comment 55 paper. 425 West Bourbonnais Street, apartment 2. Let me know when you're ready. Okay. 390 South Fifth. Yeah, calculate 13.
213, go ahead.
South 22 will be out 400 500 flat or cottage over agenda.
Hey, I be posted with them killers, yeah, you fucking right. Lil' bro just got some new 2-3s, ain't talking no fucking mics. Just pop this X for the text my ex, you trying to fuck the life. Bitch can't get near nothing from me, I'm Scrooge McDuck type.
Go ahead.
10-9.
That's all we practice.
Sorry.
County unit in the area 184 South 6th Avenue, Dean and 902 with a landlord out with 5 tenants that are arguing. Temper.
Take over your status.
That's all right.
10-4. Take 10, take off.
Welcome back to
90 at King Middle School, 1440 East Court Street, first floor, southeast hallway motion.
I am actually on the volcano site, and there are these huge self-ports, whatever. I remember but these machines here are because they are trying to stop this here. These two machines, I don't know the odds, but I'm not a gambler, but if I would put money on anything, I think I would put all my money right now on this lava here. But they are building this wall here, and the lava here is escalating quite some. And there are some, like, let's say, when this lava goes through this wall and down here, the situation in this volcano situation will be completely different than before. So, more about that before after this.
Where?
Like I said, I told you last time, the volcano right now
Okay, comment 55 on 10 8 service.
very different from these little craters that were like spewing slowly up to lava. Because the volume from it is much
Email study on tip, or you back in district.
13 meters, cubic meters per second. It took me a while there, but it used to be 5 to 8 cubic meters per second. So it halved the size of what it used to be. And you can see it now in this lava here. This is the lava here. It's actually like 200 or 300 meters away from the volcano. But still we have this huge lava river, lava flow going down here. And if you can, perhaps I can show you this later on with this drone shot. You can see it from here how fast and aggressively it's going down. So what is happening basically is this lava here, now called Fagradal Spring, down to nothing. So this valley here doesn't have a name. Nobody really had any interest in naming this valley before, but the valley right down here, his name is Nachtheim, like the place of night. So when the lava breaks through this wall, or if it breaks through this wall, it will go down here, and then it's going fast track towards the road. And when the road is off, it will be considerably harder to get to the volcano, and it will also just destroy properties. And also, what's more of a concern is that somewhere under there, I haven't seen an exact location, but they know that somewhere under there, in this valley, are like fibers that we use for internet connections to like Reykjanes, Grindavík, and so on. Meaning that we would lose track on that, and it would basically be off. In a matter of time, of course, because the lava doesn't burn like onto the ground. So So this wall here that these engineers are building, they were actually going to build it in a different kind of place. They were going to do tests in Meradal. Meradal is on the other side here. The lava is definitely going there also, but there is nothing there. They realized pretty soon, because of the huge volume coming from the mountain volcano, that they needed to have do something quickly and basically, it's calling me. And they need to stop the lava from going down here. So this wall here is something that we have done once before in Westman Island, when Elde, I think it was called, in the middle of the town almost. One person died, and it happened in the night, and it was basically the biggest catastrophe that ever happened in Iceland connected to volcanoes.
Is there any additional ones going off?
Was saved from the island, and it went
No, it's fine.
You check the perimeter assault security service.
Check for.
Sure.
That's fine.
Acá me decía, oye, Dios,
Dale 72 are right here on the seat.
James Hurda at Fisher Auto Parts, Main Street Northwest and William Mason Drive, in reference to an accident that occurred earlier today. We just requesting a 21 for now. It occurred at that location though.
Okay, if it's a desk report, I'll call him after post and pay the post. Okay, 144, I'll handle it. Especially one that's actually quarters.
Tell you I talked about it.
Ja, יש מאוד מבטים שצריכים, כרגע מה...
within our west.
census post. Comments or reports with those?
Cancel.
Forty-four.
44. Fishing rod.
I'm down with footsteps.
Faites quelque chose, on va comment ça fait. Ah, moi je dois bouger. Ah, il arrive.
Come on, go to chapel because it's my second way. Umuriro waje. And you see, nizeye ko muri kubona umuriro.
Unaona hapa. Mbele zigongo, mkuje kama bien. Mkuje kwa boketa.
Sometimes you can have confidence. You guys are
Sikia tremblement uko napita. Mungu tu.
holy shit, rad. Nice and roomy, but they don't fall off.
Oh my god.
That's 41.
You guys, are you serious about this?
Sure.
Okay, I'm 545. I'll be Katie Adams.
Aftershocks from the magnitude 7.4 earthquake that hit the northwestern Qinghai province on Saturday have continued to shake the ground as thousands of residents camp outside in cold temperatures fearing another jolt. On Tuesday, a magnitude 4.1 tremor was reported at the earthquake's epicenter in Majuo County, in the Galao Tibetan Autonomous Prefecture, a day after similarly intense aftershocks, according to China Earthquake Network Center, a monitoring institution under the China Earthquake Administration. 18 people have been injured since Saturday. As the ground continues to shake, thousands of residents in the county have been staying at makeshift shelters, local officials told 6 Tone. As of Monday, an estimated 1,872 tremors have been reported, with the strongest measuring 5.1 on the Richter scale. Though officials said the water supply, electricity, and communications in the area have been restored, there is reportedly a shortage of medical supplies and tents, and there are still intermittent power outages. The quake has also damaged several stations, as well as a major flood management project in the province, the source of the Yangtze, Yellow, and Langkang rivers. We are under a lot of pressure to provide disaster relief, said Yang Yehong, deputy chief of the publicity department in Majuo County, adding that the authorities have enforced health and safety guidelines and even set up a COVID-19 vaccination center, given China's recent reports of sporadic infections. On Monday, the provincial government allocated 69 million yuan, $10.7 million, in emergency relief funds for the earthquake victims, while also dispatching heating equipment to combat the frigid temperatures.
We no longer know how to live without refrigerators, without cars, without phones, or without supermarkets. What will you do tomorrow if you simply are unable to buy things? I sometimes even think we're kidding ourselves. Their bug-out bags and with our 3-day food rations. Wouldn't we be better off looking at what the pioneers took with them when they traveled from Independence, Missouri, all the way to Oregon City? Day meat was unreliable even then. Don't think they made this 5-month journey counting only on that. Their life depended on this. What bug-out bag would you take with you? I know, I would stick with that pioneer head with him. We had to travel weeks on end without much help, while taking cover with some native tribes at the same time. And this is just a small, tiny example. I don't want to see our forefathers' knowledge disappear into the darkness of time. If you care for your family and what America stands for, then neither should you. As I had in mind 15 years ago, I wanted to do something that hadn't been done before. Something that not only would help me survive a crisis, but that I could do around my house on a daily basis. It's the only methods that were tested and proven by our forefathers for centuries. I wanted to unearth and learn the forgotten ways of our great-grandparents. So I came up with this great idea to edit all my manuscripts, to turn all this lost knowledge into one of the greatest books of this century. The Lost Ways, saving our forefathers' skills by knowing the ways of our forefathers. Believe it or not, they're covered for anything. You'll never have to spend.
Let's get real. This isn't really my house. Thank you, Rachel, Trent, other PA. It's a set of a couple.
Folks, good afternoon and morning to some out there. Again, Master here with a quick update video on the 4.5 earthquake striking out here in Oklahoma. The size one here in the Oklahoma area. We have been watching a significant earthquake swarm around the Clinton area over the last few days. Let's see if we can get that object here. There we go. 4.5 right there in the red circle, a ways away from the Clinton area where we've seen that earthquake swarm over here. We'll get to that in just a second. I want to cover the 4.5 which struck right around the Texas-Oklahoma border up here around the Panhandle, southwest Woodward. You get the size earthquake, no doubt. Quite a few folks fill in this one. It struck at about, looks like 7.7 kilometers below the surface. Historical seismic activity, I can't really see anything on this.
45 out, 1619, water.
Dots throughout the area. This one goes back to about 1900 or so. But it's kind of in a weird area. Oklahoma, yes, but specifically in this area near Shattuck. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Let's go ahead and check out a couple more details of this map that's been reviewed by seismologists, so everything is accurate when it comes to magnitude and depth, which again is 7.7 kilometers. A few people reported feeling it. You can see the area out there. Of course, seems like things east of the Rockies. All it takes is a 3-pointer, 3.5 for folks to fill it over a broader area. 4.5, no doubt, some folks would be filling it out here throughout Kansas, Texas, and Oklahoma area. A couple of reports there, of course, Shattuck area getting in on the majority of responses. Woodward, Oklahoma, Medicine Lodge as well. Kansas reported feeling that earthquake. If you did feel this earthquake, let me know what it felt like. I'm kind of curious, not from a scientific perspective, on what it may have felt like if it's a rolling quake, a jolt, just rundown of what you felt. From the satellite view out there, of course, folks, we don't have to zoom in any closer than this. And I'm not saying it's 100% the cause of it, but man, that is cracking operations central. There's so many little pumping operations out there. You can see all these little squares that look like baby houses, but they're not. They're all pumping operations, fracking operations, oil rigs. Not for sure, but it's something that draws or pumps water or oil out of the ground, natural gas. Not for sure on the specifics of this, but Shattuck there said pretty darn close to the epicenter of this 4.5. Looks like it struck maybe right around, specifically, you want to get right underneath the epicenter, right within this creek area, but look what's nearby. So Saddam, operation only a few hundred meters away, really close to that vicinity. No doubt throughout the region.
It blew a fucking down.
The quickened earthquake swarm that's going on is dying down at least for the 24 hours.
Okay, Captain Milan 71 is en route to Diamond Point.
AM 71, Cap for en route to Diamond Point.
Where's that earthquake?
Good.
I sent you to a call in reference to a vehicle that's 1046 that's going to be remain parked at 750 Armour Parkway overnight, just 43 only for the department.
About 100 earthquakes or so within the last week of all magnitudes around Clinton. There's a massive swarm of earthquake activity in this region. They've been watching that pretty closely, folks. Can't say this is 100% fracking operations. There is about some operations in the region, but the depth of these earthquakes, right around the 6.1, 5.8 kilometer range below the surface, all roughly around that same area. A couple shallow, a couple deeper ones there in that area, but it's kind of interesting here. We're going to watch this one pretty closely. This 4.5 now showing up on the all magnitude.
144 checking status.
We'll do a little bit update. We'll do an update a little bit later on, folks, on the earthquake video update later this evening. For now, 4.5 outside of Shattuck, Oklahoma. I don't think I've ever been in that section. I've been to Woodward and surrounding areas, but I don't think I've ever been down here to this region. Let me know, folks, what you felt if you did feel it. Peace out.
The first person to survive Alzheimer's disease.
Good.
Texas call for a 911 call showing 144 feet from 90 East 7000 North Road. Open line, no background, no history on the number.
Hapa ni Moguma. Sisi wenye hii tremblement inafaa iwe.
Attach you to a deputy for disorderly conduct, 1235 North Bush.
Il nous reste que 2 toilettes avec une douche. Moi, que c'est du gaz. Quand on jette quelque chose, voilà comment ça fait. Ah, moi je dois bouger. Ah, il y a
911 call, tower location only. 911 only cell in the area of 287 West River Street. Oh, man. You think I'm going to explain that in the background? Just a little bit, no boy.
If you or a loved one is fighting type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, this discovery could save.
A magnitude 5.1 earthquake occurred near the Three Gorges Dam, the world's largest hydroelectric dam built in 2003 to block the Yangtze River. The earthquake caused some damage to structures near its epicenter, but no apparent damage to the dam. In a stroke of luck, a group of scientists from China University of Geoscience in Wuhan and St. Louis University were conducting a seismic recording experiment in the region and deployed a temporary seismic network when the earthquake occurred. The earthquake occurred almost right beneath one of our seismic stations, said Lupi Aiju, PhD, a seismology professor in the Department of Earth and Atmospheric Sciences at SLU and the principal investigator of the project. This gave us a unique opportunity to locate the main shock and its small aftershocks precisely. The results revealed that all the earthquakes occurred in a narrow band along a previously unidentified fault that is connected to the reservoir. Subsequent field survey in the region led by John Encarnacion, PhD, a geology professor at SLU, found evidence for the fault in terms of deformed and damaged rocks. They also found that the narrow band of earthquakes had been confined to a specific rock type that was exposed in the dam reservoir and VIPs into the earth beneath other rock types. When the dam was built, a lake was created. The higher water levels created greater pressure in pore spaces in rocks at lower depths, and no trigger for earthquakes. This is the same effect that can lead to earthquakes when wastewater is pumped into the ground, Encarnacion said. You can feel this effect on your ears whenever you dive deeper in a swimming pool, deeper water, greater pressure. That greater pore pressure can trigger a fault that is under stress to move. The region was low before the dam, but increased by 7 to 8 times in terms of average monthly earthquake counts after the water level of the reservoir was raised to more than 150 meters above sea level. Though people have suspected that the increase in earthquakes is related to the reservoir, this study illustrates for the first time the clear relationship between water incursion into a specific rock type and the triggering of earthquakes on a previously unrecognized fault. Though the dam escaped damage in 2013, the researchers warned that risks remain. Based on the length of the fault and on GPS data showing that the ground is holding around, this fault could possibly store enough energy to generate an earthquake large enough to cause damage to the Three Gorges Dam, Zhu said. Millions of people could be at risk downstream if the dam should fail. Presumably, there are ways the dam can be strengthened to be able to withstand stronger quakes. I think one important takeaway from this study is that we can better assess triggered earthquake risks by having a better understanding of the internal plumbing in an area, Encarnacion said. This can be done by combining precise earthquake locations that can reveal hidden faults with a distance.
Unit en route to Wheeler, can you repeat your unit number?
Robert 1.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, down ambulance 71 is on scene. Starting point.
Email 71, I have you on the scene.
Turkey game play.
más 16.
First name India, INDIA, Burlington Middle, female 22302, 22302.
Balance, clear out of KBT, go ahead.
Order for WAR, WATER, FORD, first name spelled ANIYAH, J John Middle, female 111000, 11, stand by. 001100.
Check on 102. Go ahead.
At Fiona Summit, working in esports, speed for us is everything.
Okay,
As a small studio, we work together from the very start of every project. If I want to draw up storyboard and show.
On Tuesday, May 25, 2021, Indonesia's meteorology agency reported that an earthquake of magnitude 5.0 occurred near General Santos City, Philippines. The quake hit at a shallow depth of 18 kilometers beneath the epicenter near General Santos City, Philippines, early morning at 3:46 a.m. local time. Our monitoring service identified a second report from the European Mediterranean Seismological Center, which listed the quake at magnitude 4.9. Other agencies reporting the same quake include the German Research Center for Geosciences at magnitude 4.9 and India's National Center for Seismology at magnitude 5.1. Some local residents said that they felt a gentle shaking for 5 or 10 seconds. However, it should not have caused significant damage. Currently, there is no preliminary report on the casualties caused by the earthquake. In Malbang, located 20 kilometers from the epicenter, land 23 kilometers away, Malapatan, and General Santos City, the quake should have been felt as light shaking.
To get the best out of your car, put the best in your car. Running oil right.
X54. Do another follow-up. Purpose to stop the motor vehicle. Kaylee would like a phone call from 1355 on Burger. Okay, now I'm 23. Call for
first, though, we want to get to Southern California. On alert this morning after getting hit by the largest earthquake there in 2 decades, sparking more than 160 aftershocks. ABC's Eva Pilgrim is in Trona, California, starting us off with the very latest. Eva, good morning.
Good morning, Will. We are very near the epicenter of this earthquake here. You can see the damage it's done here in the story. I just want to walk you through it. All of these bottles basically knocked around. Many of them here broken on the ground. All the liquid that was inside spilled everywhere now. And if you keep following me, you'll see that's the case pretty much down every aisle. The power is back on, but the concern is far from over.
Holy okay, comment 36.
The largest earthquake in 2 decades.
36.
Striking Southern California. These terrified children are performing in a 4th of July show when the quake hit.
So there were 121 million attacks in the first half of 2020, which equates to one about every 14 seconds. These attacks are happening against billion-dollar companies with
Surveillance video inside a local market capturing the moment.
Shelves went down. Bottles broke. All the wine shelves, the beer coolers, they all like destroyed.
The aftermath, leaving this home in Ridgecrest near the epicenter engulfed in flames.
We have multiple injuries. We've had 2 house fires. We've had small vegetation fires, power lines down, gas leaks.
Patients in the local hospital evacuated after suffering minor injuries. With roads cracking, the 6.4 quake was felt as far away as Las Vegas. Hit hard at a nearby trailer park, nearly collapsing this building.
That trailer coming over, and you just panic at that point.
The massive event terrifying residents struggling to get out of their home.
It was hard getting out too. The floors kept coming up like this, like a pyramid, in the hallway. The furnace fell out of the wall.
Psychologists say this was a strike slip quake, meaning the 2 plates along the fault moved parallel to each other but in opposite directions. Experts warning the worst may be yet to come.
There is about a 1 in 20 chance that this location will be having an even bigger earthquake within the next few days.
Just a short time ago, a 5.4
Okay, 144.
Okay.
Two from 136. What's that, John?
I'm on the west side. I just came in. I can meet you up in Florida. Let you in.
awesome. Finally here.
The line is on the
take this
east side, though.
Up there, 280 North Kennedy.
mubona byasenyutse dutabarize Imana dutabare Rubavu kabisa ibintu n'idanje amazi ari gusenyuka imitingito n'idanje aha turi ni ku kigo cy'amashuri cya isiki aho basanzwe bita umusigiti ariko w'abakora
You can clear the call. Robert 12 will be handling that.
Definitely.
Four nine three Charles